Well, we both wear like a size 8. I wear a size 8.
My hat size is 7 7/8.
So
yeah,
just 1/8 short.
yeah. But
Well, we both have large noggins because we both have large brains.
look at it. It's like Sputnik, spherical but quite pointy in parts.
Oh.
He'll be crying himself to sleep tonight on his huge pillow.
So I married an axe murderer.
What a great movie.
It was essentially it's kind of pre Austin Powers, before Austin Powers.
Yeah,
but it wasn't really.
Well, it might have been Michael Myers' first movie. Like that must have been post Saturday Night Live. Maybe it was while he was on Saturday Night Live.
I think it was on when I was on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. So it might have been the same time. But we'll check references because that's what we do here on the Rubber Duck Syndicate. Yeah, we check references on everything that we talk about, and we let you know that we don't. We don't. Oh my goodness, no. Are we good?
I was just trying to balance out the. Yeah.
That work? More exciting stuff like this.
Now we are perfectly aligned.
Yes, that's what's important.
Yes. Or yeah, we'll edit that out.
No, we won't.
Yeah.
No. As you already know, we don't edit.
Have we edited anything out yet?
No, we have not. You actually named an episode saying we don't edit.
Yeah,
But the thing is, we do go through and edit. We actually look at everything, and if there's any pictures or references that we do talk about, we'll try to insert it, here when we can.
We intend to edit. So
But there's nothing we need to edit because everything that we say
it's gold.
It's solid gold. You know what? No, it's platinum. It's whatever rare metal there's out there. That's what it is. What is it? Unobtainium? Unobtainium. That's what we got. It's like unobtainium, adamantium, and what was in Wakanda? Vibranium. It's all that mixed together of whatever we're saying. So
in the DC universe, they had nth metal.
Ooh, nth metal. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of rare metals in DC, but
I'm sure they do, but the only one I can remember was nth metal. That was what Hawk Girl, what her mace was made out of. Mm-hmm. Apparently, her people had figured out nth metal and used it in their technology. And one of the little attributes that it had was it disrupted magic. Ooh. So it was a great bit of writing. It's so far advanced science that it actually screws with magic.
Which magic is a science, I guess, in itself.
Yeah, within the DC universe, magic has, I guess, consistent-ish rules. I mean, if you say it backwards, it happens.
I guess it really depends on what the rules are, who it applies to, what it's doing. But everything it's in flux whenever you're doing stories. But that's when writers take advantage of it. So they were like, yeah, the magical rules apply to this, but not to this, or it might be changed because of this. So
I mean, whenever I do magic, it's consistent.
I thought you were going to talk about the Italian magic.
Yes, we have just offended our 3 Italian viewers.
I'm sorry, Italian. Well, we didn't really say anything. Well, no, the hand gesture is kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean, it is a stereotypical or an attribute that is part of the Italian American stereotype. Maybe even Italian and not just Italian American. Mm-hmm. But as far as stereotypes go, it is talking with your hands. I mean, is that an offensive stereotype?
Not really. Well, I guess it depends on who you want to offend. Because I do talk with my hands a lot too, but when I'm sitting down, I don't do it as much, as you guys probably notice. But when we're at like our regular location, or I guess our winter location, that's when I'm more, I guess, animated because I'm up and moving and things like that.
It's when you have to come up with something to do with your hands. I mean, if you're standing up, just like let your shoulders droop and have your hands there, and like
Are
a
you a
Muppet.
Muppet?
Yeah, I mean, you have to do something with them, and so maybe you add them or you incorporate them into your speech patterns.
Okay. Ooh, I thought about two things right now while you're saying that. So there are. One is, so think of a movie where it's mostly just humans. Replace everyone with Muppets except for one person. What movie would that be? So you think about that for
But am I trying to come up with an actual movie which is
no
the plot of?
a movie that already exists. So think of just like we talked about Raiders of the Lost Ark.
So which movie would I like to see with an all but one Muppet cast?
No, like all Muppets, just one human person.
Right.
Yeah, so think about that because that's been on a couple of different other podcasts. We do our research here on the Rubber Duck Syndicate, and not exactly steal or borrow from other podcasts, but
We're inspired.
we're inspired. But we also do like we know your engagement of what you think about our thought process. So that was one of them. Now, the other thing is actually dealing with this Coke Zero.
Product placement.
Yes, Coke Zero. When yeah.
That's something that almost tastes like sugar.
Well, no, that's what they were referring to. So there was another podcast that was talking about this, or a show. I'm not sure. I don't know who it was referenced to, so I'm sorry. If someone knows in the comments, go ahead and put it in the comments. But what they were saying is people that drink Coke Zero, they drink Coke Zero because they miss Coke. But people that drink Diet Coke strictly just drink Diet Coke because they like Diet Coke. They don't drink Coke Zero.
Okay, I can see the reasoning there, but I would wonder if you would get the same results, well, or if you could even have the question, because before Coke Zero existed, Diet Coke was the only other option. Well,
It was.
For something that was, I guess, Coke-esque.
It was. That was the only option.
Look who it is.
Yes, one of the official Rubber Duck Syndicate cats. Cheez-It.
Cheez-It will be here meowing and scratching and pawing and licking. Yeah. So
And
if you see me suddenly twitch, it means Cheez-It has stepped somewhere that he shouldn't.
Testicles.
It happens.
I think Daniel has two of them.
2 cats.
But getting back to the Coke discussion, yeah, so like you only had the option of having Coke or Diet Coke or nothing. But people that were drinking like Coke and then went to Diet Coke to I guess to have like less sugar or less calories.
It was the diet option.
It was the diet option.
The low calorie or whatever. It was if you wanted soda, but Coke was too bad for you.
Yes. But then when Coke Zero came around for a lot of different sodas and availability out there.
How long have they had Coke Zero?
As far as I know, I want to say the last, like maybe 6 to 7 years. But I'm pretty sure it might be longer than that. But hey, people in the comments, you know what to do. How long has zero sugar sodas have been available?
Because I know we've had different formulations of, I guess, alternative sweeteners.
Yes.
There's some that have NutraSweet or whatever. There was aspartame I think that was one of the first sugar replacements.
Yes.
So I don't know what they actually use because zero sugar is really just a marketing term. It means that they have some other form of sweetener, which it might or might not be derived from sugar. It's like Splenda. It's sugar that they've somehow removed the sugar from.
I forget what the technical name of it is.
Sucralose.
Yes, there we go. That's what they probably use in zero sugars. But the fact that it's like, I'm not sure the science on it, but essentially it's like 10 times sweeter than regular sugar is. So instead of using Like because I think we talked about like 8 grams of sugar, like in regular Coke. They now can use like 0.05% of a gram of that sweetener in a soda. So they'd be like, oh, it has this many calories. It's like if it's under, I believe if it's under 5, it gets rounded down.
Yeah. Also, there's this. I think it's called the sweetness index. So they set sugar at 100, and so when you're talking about like the sweet taste of something, so the sugar is 100, and then most of the alternative sweeteners are in fact sweeter than sugar. They'll range like 120, 140, or something like that. But I don't know if it's just the sweetness or if there's actually a flavor to sugar.
Ooh. That is an interesting question because, there's not really a taste of sugar. It's just sweet.
Yeah, but there's different sources of sugar. There's traditional cane sugar, and then there's date sugar, which is I think just dried up dates that have been ground up really fine, and then there's the different sources of like the different alternatives like stevia you get from a plant. It's not like a molecule that you have to create in a lab or anything like that.
All right.
And then like sugar itself, just like table sugar is. I'm trying to remember, get all my terms mixed up. Is dextrose, which is sucrose is regular sugar, which can be broken down into fructose and or sucrose. I think I have that right.
They want to see your face, sir.
I'm thinking, and it hurts. All right, yeah. Sugar is complicated. It's a molecule that we like to put in food.
Yeah, everything is really kind of complicated. If you really break it down and look at it, there is one trend that happens on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. So people that are, I would say, influencers that are, I guess,
what a horrible word.
I know, like if we were influencers, we would be just awful. We'll just tell you to, keep watching.
I don't want to influence anybody. I just, I want them to be along for the ride, but I don't want to, have any kind of clout. No. We are podcasters, sir. We are internet personalities, but we are not influencers.
We're influencing people to watch us.
That's not true.
We're trying to watch us. Watch us more.
People to watch us.
Make your friends and family watch us too. Please. No, if you want to share the word with your friends and family to watch the Rubber Duck Syndicate.
Why would you keep this from your family?
Yeah, I know. That's just you. Why are you being selfish?
And why would you not inflict this upon your enemies?
Why are you being selfish, sir or madam? Just being selfish and try to keep it to yourself. Be like, oh hey, I'm watching these 2 sexy dudes talking about sugar. Yeah. Tell your friends and family, and football would like and subscribe and share and all that stuff, which people are doing, and we'll acknowledge that a little bit later on. But for some of the people that are, like I say, that are influencers via whatever platform, they'll use the complicated name of whatever it may be. So we all know what a banana is. But there's actually a scientific name for it, which is, I think you're editing this time. So he's going to put the scientific name of the banana here.
Which banana?
Whichever banana you want to.
Well, there's the Cavendish banana, which is the most common commercially grown
They won't
banana.
do that.
Yeah, that's the one that you usually find in grocery stores. I think the scientific name starts with Musa, M-U-S-A, but I'm not 100% sure of that. That one we will look up, so... Yeah, this is where we need to have a list. So it's 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So 10 seconds before that, we're going to have to look something up.
Time machine. Well, we'll put the... Fucking jerk. We'll put the scientific name of what the banana is on the screen so you kind of know. But... but there's other things that say influencers will use a scientific name and say that it's terrible for you, but they don't tell you the amount. So, they do the research of, scientific research. They have studies out there saying like, oh, if you consume this much sugar, it's bad for you. But
if you consume, certain amounts of anything, it's bad for you.
Yeah, so like aspartame. Aspartame was one of those things that people were saying like, oh, it's horrible for you. If you drink so much of it, you're going to die.
Well, for a while, and I don't know if this was ever established scientifically or if this is all just rumor, but supposedly aspartame was behind the alleged Gulf War syndrome. So during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm in the 90s, when we were going into Iraq, supposedly the troops were coming back with like some sort of weird symptoms, and I don't know, I guess hallucinations or going crazy or something like that. I don't know if this is ever actually a thing that was proven at all, or if this is all just kind of tabloid stuff. But supposedly the source was they had shipments of like diet sodas with aspartame in them, and so they took that with them into the desert, and under the desert sun that chemical supposedly broke down into something toxic,
something
and
different,
that would make you get Gulf War syndrome.
Didn't know that.
But I'm pretty sure it was mostly bullshit.
It probably is, but that's also could be one of those things where you heard it from one person and they didn't really.
Is it bullshit?
But it could be one of those things that like it was told by someone and they're like, oh, I heard it from this other person. Was it a reliable resource? No, it was just somebody. It was just somebody bullshitting. Say the same thing of, on average, you eat spiders a year, which was something that.
I mean, I eat way more than that.
I know you do. I'm very concerned about your spider consumption, sir.
I mainline them.
No, there was that. I guess there was that thing saying when you're sleeping, I guess your mouth open and a spider crawls in. You eat 8 spiders a year.
And that's supposed to be over the course of your lifetime.
Okay.
So over 7 or 8 decades, in theory, you would unknowingly, unconsciously have consumed spiders that just happened to fall into your mouth while you were asleep.
Which you're probably eating way more spiders in your food than anything else. Because the FDA allows for a certain percentage of bugs in your food, folks. You already knew that.
It's gross until you think about the logistics of it all. And so if you've ever dropped something on the floor in your kitchen and picked it up and the 5-second rule's been good enough, you are still way underneath the cutoff for what is technically safe. When you're making batches of something in the millions of gallons, if a fly gets in there somewhere, you're getting 1/1,000,000th of a fly per gallon.
True. So it sounds weird, it sounds scary, it sounds horrible, but just say in a number scale, I could put in say peanut butter. If they're making a batch of 1,000 pounds of peanut butter. If 2 cockroaches got into the batch, they're not going to throw the entire batch away. They'll be 2 cockroaches got into the batch of 1,000 pounds of peanut butter.
So this is extra protein peanut butter.
Yeah, it's extra protein, but the amount of cockroach that you're going to get into your own peanut butter is very minimal.
Yeah, at a certain point, it goes from being scientific to philosophical. Like, if you think of other contaminants in your food, or as Stephen Colbert put it, I think poop cake. If you have a whole cake with a little bit of poop in it, you have a poop cake. Or if you want to break it down to less comical terms, how much poison, at some point, if you add poison to water, you've either got water with poison in it or really diluted poison, depending on how much is of one you have versus the other. And so with commercial food production batches, you have a certain number of bugs that are just undetectable in there.
Yeah, so you've eaten plenty of cockroaches and spiders maybe a lizard or two. You probably consumed a scorpion.
Which is cool when you think about it.
Yeah. But still, you don't have any powers yet. I'm waiting.
Yeah, this is all part of the mass-produced food industry's project to create super soldiers by feeding us bugs. Yeah.
Eat more peanut butter to get your powers.
Yeah, we are going to get a cease and desist from the peanut butter people.
Yeah, but we didn't say any
just
name
stop talking.
directly.
Yeah, they just want us to stop talking.
Oh, too bad. But we'll talk about, Well, we're on a couple different things, but we'll get into it. I think we've talked about this before. What is your preferred version of peanut butter?
In my case, it's whatever is adjacent. I mean, creamy is fine, crunchy is fine. I don't go out of my way to find one particular one or other. At the moment, I don't have any peanut butter in the house, which I feel like is a personal failing.
Oh yeah, you are failing, sir. You need to.
Yeah, but
you need to work on that.
I will probably get. I guess most people think of creamy as the regular, or the non-crunchy version as regular, or there are people out there that think of crunchy as regular and the other one as
Wrong.
extra smooth.
No, the smooth is just wrong.
So you're a crunchy peanut butter advocate?
Yes. Yeah. You're hopefully the people listening to us are adults, or if you're younger, like Hi, Vinny. He's gonna go crazy. He's like, oh, I got mentioned. You're like, yeah, Vinny, we know. Mostly you're adults. Grow up a little bit. Have some crunchy peanut butter. It's the best.
Like I said, have crunchy peanut butter. You're an adult.
Yes,
that is the only time that construction has ever been put together. Usually, peanut butter is one of those things that if anyone's trying to get you to eat peanut butter, it's like a nutritionist for a kid. You have to have it. Yeah. Peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly will always be good, though.
Oh yes, here we'll lead into another question. How do you make your peanut butter sandwich? Because I make mine a little bit differently than I guess most people, but how do you make yours?
Well, it depends on what we're going for. I mean, there's the classic. Basically, once you factor in whether or not you're toasting the bread, I mean, peanut butter and jelly on toast is a superior sandwich. But peanut butter and jelly on plain bread is fine. However, like whole wheat bread makes it, I don't know. It really depends on the bread and what we're doing with it.
Oh, I mean, if you went to the store, you're like, I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You're buying all your stuff. What are you buying and how are you assembling it?
Well, peanut butter and jelly, I would get. It doesn't matter what brand of peanut butter, because peanut butter is peanut butter. It's all good. Some people have like. If you have a preferred brand of peanut butter, you do you. But as far as I am concerned, peanut butter is ground up peanuts. And, there is not one manufacturer that has figured out the magical art of grinding peanuts better than any other manufacturer. They've all figured out how to grind peanuts more efficiently than I can.
Yeah.
But
that's because you haven't tried
on that
hard
note,
enough.
the natural peanut butter is also good. The stuff that you have to stir and keep in the fridge,
yeah,
because it's not blended and emulsified. Because at its heart, peanut butter is ground up peanuts. But most of the stuff you get when you're getting down to creamy versus chunky, you are dealing with peanut butter that has had some stuff added to it to give it that texture or to maintain that texture. Mm-hmm. It's not just refined peanuts.
Gotcha.
It doesn't matter what brand, but I would get probably Jiffy or Peter Pan, one of those, just because they're the big popular ones.
Yeah.
Or is it Jif? Jiffy is the popcorn. Jif.
Or GIF.
The graphics interchange format.
Graphics interchange format. Yeah. Peanut butter.
And for some reason, it only feels right with grape jelly, but any jelly should do. But if I'm going for the classic one, it's going to be plain white bread, or in a pinch, plain whole wheat bread, and peanut butter, grape jelly, and the whole thing must be toasted.
Okay.
If I'm going to the advanced level, peanut butter and banana with a little bit of honey.
Okay. That is a very long-winded way of making peanut butter sandwich, sir.
I was trying to cover whatever you were doing with your water bottle.
I know. I was listening to you. I can multitask, sir.
Yeah. So one thing, in addition to not editing, we don't know when to shut each other up.
No, we just kind of let each other go. I do like your answer, but you have no specificity, I guess, on some of it.
It's not about, like, I guess you were asking for brands.
Oh, you could be brands or whatever it is. And you're like, it doesn't matter. Like, no, to me, like, if I'm making something, some stuff matters to me. So if I am making a peanut butter jelly sandwich, I get the Peter Pan Crunchy Honey Roasted.
Honey
That's
roasted.
that's the one that you go for. I have like 2 jars at home right now. As far as bread, I would go with most of the time honey wheat bread, and it has to be toasted. Obviously, toaster setting like at 2 or 3, so it's
Which means nothing.
yeah. Most of the time, it means nothing. But whatever you have at your home, to where like it's a regular kind of toast where it's not super stiff, but it's just like right below, like so like it has like a little bit of a like flop to it.
Yeah. Also, there's the option, which if you happen to have a toaster oven, assembling the sandwich first and then toasting it, which gives you the crunchy outer toasted shell, and then like because of the moisture from the jelly, you get kind of almost a steamy, fluffy inside.
True, you can do that. I've tried that before, but when you do that, your peanut butter melts. So the peanut butter that
It is a delicate timing.
Yeah.
You have to hit it just right. Otherwise, you get molten peanut butter and like broken down. You have like the remnants of jelly that has given up all of its moisture. And if you don't do it enough, then you get just damp bread.
Yeah. Now, and here, this is going to be, I guess, a little controversial.
We do not shy away from controversy here.
I know,
at the
we
Rubber
don't.
Duck Syndicate.
I don't do traditional grape. I do strawberry.
Most jellies that unless you're making your own or getting like the really fancy, like high end, expensive ones that are just fruit preserves or whatever, or fruit compote.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. But if you're getting just general stuff like grape, strawberry, it is all, it's sugar goo with, maybe some fruit pulp and fruit juice in it.
Yeah, because there's, someone broke it down somewhere, the difference between jelly, jam, preserves, things like that.
Yeah, I know the difference between some of them, but then it starts to get fuzzy around the edges.
But typically I'll do a strawberry preserve. Because like with my peanut butter jellies, like peanut butter and I guess, preserved sandwiches, it's really about texture. Because I'm like, I don't want everything like completely smooth. It just feels weird. I want some crunch. I want some texture to it. So the marmalade has like still bits of strawberry in there. So it just makes it great.
Well, you mentioned preserves. I'm going to steer us out of the peanut butter conversation. We'll still keep preserves and jams and jellies and stuff.
Okay.
But my preferred way to consume, preserves and fancy high-end jellies and things like that is on fresh, hot, warm biscuits. And I will put a link in the description to one of the best biscuit recipes I've ever found, which is the biscuit recipe from the Dahlia Bakery in Seattle.
Okay.
And they are giant bricks of fluffiness. And they,
Oh yeah, like I remember you made some. I had one. They were awesome. No, they were awesome.
If you did not like those biscuits, that was the end of this podcast.
No.
Oh my God. No, those biscuits are amazing, and
No, they were
are they're just fantastic, fluffy, buttery plates to put like fancy preserves on, because it's just warm enough to soften and start to melt the jelly part, and yeah, see, even the cat agrees. Okay, we may edit this part out.
No, it's already going to be in there. But
You're gonna have to come up with a long-term solution for. No, not the microphone.
No, not the microphone. Yeah, we may have to do something with the cats once we record.
You see, kitties need regular squishings.
Yeah, but hold on, we were totally off topic. So we got to peanut butter and jellies.
Yeah, peanut butter jelly, and biscuits.
But we were talking about influences before. The fact that some of them are
I
terrible.
need a stenographer.
I know.
Can you read back what we were talking about 4 minutes ago?
Yeah, we're all over the place, but it's fine. Essentially, we were talking about, like I was mentioning about influencers, of how they're saying that, oh, this particular thing is bad, but they're also saying it and not giving you a amount. So, like say aspartame, they were saying, oh, aspartame is terrible.
And you should cut it out completely.
Yeah, but they were also not telling you the fact of.
Don't you tear up my chair.
They were also not telling you the fact of they were testing these on rats, and they gave the rats essentially half their body weight in aspartame.
Yeah, so half a rat of aspartame is bad for anyone.
Yeah. So on the average person, they're like, oh, if you're eating this much aspartame, you could get cancer. Yeah, if you're eating like 130 pounds of aspartame a day, yes, it can be pretty bad. But the effect of like you're drinking the amount of 3 ounces a day, I think you're pretty safe. So influencers that do that to try to scare people into like getting into their products, fuck you guys. I understand that you're a health influencer.
Do you remember the petition? It floats around every few years. I remember I first saw it in high school, but I think it goes back to like the 70s, maybe even earlier, as a joke or somebody trying to prove a point. But there's a petition that goes around to ban the substance dihydrogen monoxide because in its gaseous form, it can cause severe burns.
Yeah.
And it can lead to asphyxiation, and among other things. And essentially, it's water. It's literally water. Its gaseous form is steam. Yes, it can burn you. Yes, you can drown in it. But if you are a clever high school person, then you might try to trick your friends into signing a petition to ban water.
Yeah.
You can make anything sound terrible if you phrase it right.
Oh my goodness, man, your weenus is showing.
Now, is this? We had the classic one. Ooh, your epidermis is showing.
Yeah.
But the weenus, as our friend Steve from Improv pointed out, that is also the unofficial name of the flap of skin on the end of your elbow.
Yeah. Yeah, so you tell somebody their weenus is showing, they're like, oh, gross. Yeah. But getting back to that point, health influencers that are trying to push your own product and not giving the true facts on different foods, fuck you.
Yeah, you're not Consumer Reports. You're just a jerk.
Yeah, you're a jerk. But getting back to our other original point.
We had a point?
Yes, because there was something else. So then we'll make sure we're doubling back. The Coke versus Diet Coke versus zero sugar. We got that covered because people that consume Coke also, I guess, kind of like zero sugar Coke. But people that drink Diet Coke don't like zero sugar Coke. So we established that too.
Yeah, I remember having a similar conversation with my mom, who's been drinking Diet Coke for as long as I can remember, and she just doesn't like the taste of regular soda anymore.
Yeah.
But me, I never, I guess, adjusted to the flavor of Diet.
Yeah,
because if you accept Diet as the flavor that you're used to drinking, because that is your alternative, then it's just like switching from regular Coke to Diet Coke, trying to switch from Diet Coke to zero sugar. You have to get over a whole change in flavor, and I don't know what the benefits of zero sugar versus just regular Diet Coke are.
It's just different. It just hits different because like I don't like the taste of Diet Cokes. So I do appreciate the taste of zero sugar Cokes or zero sugar drinks versus Diet ones, because like Diet always kind of feels like a weird taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and we've already had this conversation several times. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but I like the seltzer waters.
Yeah.
Because with especially the cans of seltzer, you still get the satisfying, of like popping open a carbonated can. You get the cold, fizzy stuff, but then I find that I don't actually miss the taste of soda. So I get water, even fizzy water is great, with even just a hint of fruit flavor, which a lot of people have mocked as it just doesn't taste like anything. But
Then
it's
motherfucker,
water.
eat a mango then.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and I have determined within my own gustatory palate that I would rather just infrequently have regular Coke. So I don't buy regular soda for the house. I will have it all the time when I go out to eat, but I don't go out to eat that much anymore. I'm much better about it than I was for a few years because I can't afford it anymore. What the hell?
Yeah.
Cat is trying to tear the windows down.
Yeah, I guess at some point, when we start recording, they're gonna have to live in a room for at least 45 minutes.
Yeah, we'll figure out a better way to handle the kitties because this is really unprofessional as opposed to our normal highly polished sound effects.
Highly polished, super focused podcast.
Maybe Greg can take the kitties out in post editing.
But we'll get back to the other point, the Muppet movie. So, what movie would you have every human in there replaced with Muppets except for one person?
So there's just a movie that I would want to see with that format.
Yes.
That is already a movie.
Yeah, so they already kind of exist.
Friday the 13th.
Ooh, so then who would be the regular human then?
The Killer. A Muppet horror movie.
Oh, I can see that.
That would be hilarious to me.
So you said Friday the 13th?
Yeah, with Jason Voorhees going around a giant man, hockey mask. Actually, he wasn't in the original Friday, but any of those movies, featuring
it was
an unstoppable, horrible killing machine.
Spoiler alert! In the first one, it was his mother. So spoiler.
If you haven't seen it by now, then that movie might still screw you up. That movie did horror right the first time.
Oh, that could lead into something else, but I'll come back to that. I can see that, but I would who was the one survivor in it?
I can't remember her name. It was one of the girls. I think Laurie was Jamie Lee Curtis's character from Halloween, Laurie Strode. I can't remember the name of the girl that survived the first Friday the 13th because they had so many movies with different casts and usually only one or two survivors by the end. So it wasn't like Halloween where you had the same protagonist for most of the movies.
Yeah. I can see that, but say if it were Halloween, I would do it where Jamie Lee Curtis is still the human,
and everyone else is a Muppet.
Everyone else is a Muppet, but think of your favorite Muppet, Sweetums.
Sweetums would be a perfect Michael Myers.
Oh my goodness, you're just showing up out of nowhere like, din, 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 din.
Oh, come on, you guys.
Go back and play. But another Jamie Lee Curtis movie, and we just talked about it. True Lies. I can see everyone else being a Muppet, except for her. No, wait.
No. I would say have everyone be a Muppet in the movie except for Eliza Dushku's character, the daughter.
Yeah,
and have her have to be 100% serious while there's a Muppet kidnapping her and threatening to blow up the city.
Oh, that would be fantastic. But also just the scene of the sexy dancing and then Muppet just whoop, and then coming back up.
Sexy dancing Muppets is its own just perfect idea right there.
It could be.
Muppet murder mystery. Well, no, we've had a few of those. They've been the gritty Muppet detective movies, which are.
I saw that in theater.
Yeah, there's been several of them actually, which are. It's odd to me that there are competing gritty Muppet movies.
It really kind of is.
I should say puppet movies because these are not official Muppet movies.
Yeah, they are puppets. Yeah. But that can lead into...
Imagine being stalked through the woods by Dr. Teeth.
Oh. I still have to make my costume for Alicia's birthday. I'm going as a Ralph.
Rolf.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, I could be Dr. Teeth, and he's like, we're gonna be Dr. Teeth and Animal. I was like, oh, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, for context, we have a friend who is having a Muppet-themed birthday party.
Yes.
And attendees are required, or at least requested, to dress as a Muppet. But the
not
birthday
requested,
girl
I
and
guess
her mate,
encouraged.
yeah, there have already been a couple of Muppets reserved. One of which was Dr. Teeth, O's preferred Muppet.
Yeah, well, because Dr. Teeth and both, like, Dr. Teeth and Rolf are my favorite Muppets because both of them are talented because they both play the piano. I like Dr. Teeth because he just comes up with fantastical phrases every so often. You're like, that makes no sense, but I understand what he's talking about. And for Rolf, he is like...
Can you picture that? Sorry.
He's weird because, like, he's sometimes the voice of reason in the crazy world, which kind of makes a little sense. You're like, yeah, in this world of, frogs that can do this and all these different Muppets, like, he's the
Rolf has bartender energy.
Yeah.
But I guess they don't have a bartender Muppet because... I mean, I'm sure there's Muppet jokes about drinking, but
there's the I don't think you've ever seen it, but there was I guess a season or two of Muppets. It was just called Muppets, and it was taking on like the kind of formula of The Office, but they were working on the show. They were still working on the Muppets show, but it was like following them via The Office.
Well, I mean, the original Muppet Show showed you backstage and stuff too.
But this is like showing them like in like backstage, but also in their real life. So at this point, and this was probably 2018, 2019, because I ended up watching it because like when the pandemic was going on, I just watched everything Muppets.
It was a symptom.
Yeah, it was a symptom. So they had them, so Kermit and Miss Piggy broke up. But they were still
I remember
working.
hearing that news, that Kermit and Miss Piggy, I don't know if they got a divorce because I'm not sure if they were officially married, but they split.
They weren't officially married. They just broke up. So then Kermit was dating another different pig. Cheez-It just taking over. Kermit was dating another different pig. Fozzie was dating a woman. That was
like a human woman?
Yeah, a human woman.
Go Fozzie.
Yeah.
He's kind of a freak.
But other Muppets had outside jobs too. So I think Rolf did have a bar. And they did have karaoke, which has a fantastic scene of the Swedish chef doing Rapper's Delight. It worked out so well. I'm like, you guys.
Anything the Swedish chef does is there are so many musical bits where it's like the Swedish chef, Beaker, an animal, and I'm trying to remember if there's any other Muppets that don't actually speak. But there's so many musical versions of stuff that is just. There's one in Christmas time. There's the Carol of the Bells. Yeah. You cannot miss with the Swedish chef and music.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking if I should do Rolf or the Swedish chef because I do have the apron and the puffy hat.
Now, importantly, the Swedish chef is the only Muppet with human hands.
Yeah.
Because apparently, when they first debuted the Swedish chef, they screwed up the timing or something, and they didn't have time to put on the gloves. So he's actually got regular human hands.
Yeah, but I was thinking that I want to do something a little bit different, so Rolf would have been different. But I'm also thinking that probably 8 other people are going to do the Swedish chef. So it depends. I'll have it in my back pocket. Or I might do just a very obscure Muppet.
Like Camilla.
Oh, I want to do Janice.
Hasta bye-bye.
For sure, guys.
Yeah, it would take a great deal of commitment to do Sweetums because that's a full costume.
Whole thing.
Yeah, you can't just dress up as Sweetums. You have to put on a Sweetums suit.
Yeah. All right. So getting back to another thing that I was thinking about, movie-wise, this will lead to another conversation we had earlier about people's ages and what kind of media that they consumed. So
Oh, yeah, okay. I remember talking about that.
we were talking about earlier our friend Mickey.
Yeah, discovered yesterday that Mickey just was unfamiliar with the song "Hey Jude," and Mickey is 31, and obviously he's heard of the Beatles because you can't have not at least heard of the Beatles. But I thought that the Beatles were everywhere, all the time, and it just never occurred to me that there's at least a whole generation now that have grown up, and the Beatles weren't just ubiquitous.
Yeah.
So there's people that know of the Beatles and have heard of the Beatles, but might not recognize a Beatles song.
True. But I was thinking about that on the scale of movies. So, like, say, True Lies. You and I have seen it. Maybe a lot of our audience have seen it before, too. But someone who is, like, say, in their 20s, probably never heard of True Lies. They probably aren't really familiar with Jamie Lee Curtis outside of, I guess, like, what would be recent.
Recently, she's been in more Halloween movies, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been in Halloween movies, but maybe they are watching that. Maybe they're not watching.
Didn't they remake Freaky Friday again?
Yes, they did.
So yeah,
not remake. They continued it, which is crazy.
Freakier Friday.
Yeah. So because the original, well, not the original one, the one that came out, I guess recently was like 2006. So at this point now it's like 2000.
Yeah, they have like their grandkids or something.
Yeah. So so I guess Lindsay Lohan's character has a daughter
the
who's
same
a teenager.
age she was in the first one. Yeah.
So the fact that they kept that going, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then also I'm like, damn, Jamie Lee, Jamie Lee Curtis is fucking hot. I'm gonna say it. I know that.
Yeah, she has been, pretty hot for most of her career, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like she showed up for the premiere. I remember this. This was like earlier in the year, and she showed up in like a very slim dress. Still has a body, because like she is in her. I think she's in her early 60s or mid 60s.
She might be older than that.
She might be older than that, but
because Halloween came out in the 70s, didn't it?
Late 70s.
Yeah, late 70s, and so she would have been a teenager in the late 70s, or maybe even in her 20s in the late 70s.
Okay.
So she might be my parents' age.
She might be. But damn, she's like...
Gee, if only we had, ubiquitous technology that could give us all of the world's knowledge right here in front of us.
But she showed up at the premiere, a very slim-fitting dress, and I'm going to be very crude. Her titties were popping. I was like, damn, Jamie Lee.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is 67 years old, according to the internet.
Yeah.
And no, Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm trying to continue the discussion while not absolutely objectifying a human being, but she has always had a notable body. And in fact, one of her first movies, if not, it was after Halloween. We're talking about Trading Places. Yeah, there's a scene where we see Jamie Lee Curtis. It does not advance the plot in any way.
No, it does.
There's nothing there to but it's like
nothing going on.
Those are amazing.
I watched that so many different times. It did nothing for me, but it was just, I was like, ooh, flesh.
Yeah, and she's just she just turns straight to the camera, and there was artistically no reason at all, wow.
She didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
She just did it because she's like, you know what? I'm going to do it because I can, and I want to, and haha.
So, Jamie Lee Curtis?
Damn girl.
Damn girl.
that's all it has to be. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis, damn girl.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to look up more Jamie Lee Curtis right now. That's where we're going to end it right here.
I'm not sure why you had that particular look on your face as a gay man about to look up Jamie Lee Curtis pictures, but...
I'm going to use your bathroom. Bye. They're like, oh, you got your... Okay, that's cute.
That's usually. Let me know when it launches. I'll like and subscribe. By the way, like and subscribe, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to say that.
Yeah, like,
Feels
subscribe.
dirty.
Like, subscribe, hit buttons, hit bells, do dinglings and things
Remember us.
like that. Remember me.